Yo, what's up guys, Dragonball here for another Dragonball Legends top 10 video here for mid of March with the new Ultra Trunks here released. I think it makes sense to make a new list here. Last week was kind of dry with the free-to-play Mai, so nothing really changed. Yeah, as always, before I begin with the list, I don't own every single character here on this list, so there may be units that I can only judge based on fighting PvP. And they're not always necessarily, in my case, when I own them at like what, 14 stars or so. They're most of the time in the 5 to 8 stars range. Right now most of the units I own are, I would say, most in the 8-star department, but some units are only at 5. So therefore, maybe I have other experience using this character than you do, because you maybe have higher stars or a team you could run them better. So just to mention that, so you guys are aware what you about my perspective here. Yeah, we're gonna start from number 10 down to number 1 as always. Starting with number 10, but I have to do a big disclaimer here for you guys. This number 10 spot is it is the most, I would say, the biggest disagreeable thing probably people will see. You will see this, probably stop the video, dislike it, end the video, do something else because you think this guy has no idea what he's talking about. But just hear me out, let me explain, and then you can, I don't know, disagree, click off, whatever. I can also understand if people don't agree at all with this placement, but I have my reasons, okay?
Ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Now, hear me out, okay? Hear me out. When it comes to future, because I think most people would consider, in terms of future team, this trio as the best setup. Looks good color-wise, everything great. But here's the thing. Why I don't think this Vegito is necessarily the best character in the game. He is, I think, factually speaking, the highest damaging unit in the game. I don't think there's no debate. He does the highest damage. His ultimate is the probably only thing in this meta right now that straight up one-shots you. This team gets shredded. Like, Future gets absolutely nuked, shredded into 15 different atoms by Vegito. You have no answer to Vegito here. Sure, you can kill this guy with your other units, but this guy gets a priority. Who you going in to eat those hits? And who are you gonna eat the ultimate with? And yes, I know he has this counter thing, but to be honest, bro, if I'm using Vegito, and let's just say I'm using this trio here, Namek Goku, Vegito, Gohan, I would just use Namek Goku to pop his thing, and then ult with Vegito against one of these two, and someone dies. Like, you have no answer to that. And I have found right now, and this is to be very clear, yeah, this is just in this PvP season, as long as this guy is in Z tier. Once this guy is off the Z tier boost, forget about this placement, okay? This is more so than ever a PvP season based tier list, okay? But I have found this guy not only to surviving his Vegito's ultimate kinda well, but also tanking Vegito kinda well. And I think if you're running Trunks, you kinda need a yellow to survive with this guy. This guy's the best character on your team. So protecting him, especially with his later on with his sort of full preparation mode, I think you need yellow Goku back on the future team. I don't think this is the best setup. And before you're gonna come with this future Gohan, I don't think he's gonna cut it. Because at the end of the day, he does have buffer move on big moves. So you go for a type neutral ultimate with endurance against this guy, someone is getting deleted, especially if you're not running this guy. So I think this makes far more sense you can swap in this guy pretty quickly because I think they lower all their sub counts plus -5 against big moves or rushes. So if this guy gets ulted by Vegito, this guy can come in. You have buff removal here. He will tank it and he will heal it off most of it. If you're pre-transformed and you're surviving Vegito's ultimate and you're transforming, you're getting like 80% of your health back. I've done it before. That's how much this guy can heal. He is giving you cover no for 15 time counts at the start of a battle, so in case you have like an enemy future Gohan who's canceling your buffs and canceling your cover no, with this guy you don't care. If this guy's ability is active, you can rush against this guy. He can make use of the greens you're providing and stuff. The Dragonball instruction, he also has a unique gauge, and I think his disrupt in this modern now new game philosophy thing isn't even bad either. So I'm gonna keep Goku Black at number 10. I think for the future team, he is an essential core unit in this season. You can disagree if you want, you can put other units here, but I think out of everybody I could think of, I think he makes more sense to run. He has a, I would say, core on the team, like on future team here. Yeah, so this makes the most sense to me to put in at number 10. Again, you can disagree if you want, I don't mind if you do. But this is my placement, this is, again, my list, my opinion. You can disagree, you can agree, whatever. And if you guys haven't tested this guy out on feature with the other two, trust me, try it. If you have like proper stars, like I have him at 10 stars, he's actually doing defensively good work. So yeah. Moving up to number 9, I have Red Zamasu. Red Zamasu has a lot of teams, but it's like the issue is if you're considering powerful opponent and regen, Wuhan is just a better version. So it's really just future where you really would run this guy. And I think he's solid there. He has good damage. In the featured boost right now, he also has a bit better tanking, so good at recovering health with the green cards and stuff like that. Again, this trio, I would say, is the best future trio. They're doing solid there. But outside of feature, you're not really running this guy, which is why I'm keeping it here. It's not that crazy, but I think he's definitely a usable, valuable unit right now. Again, but I don't know how well he's gonna be after these featured boosts, basically after the season, so we'll see. Moving into number 7 and 8, because I think you can swap these kind of bit. Namek Goku and Red Gotenks. Yeah, I'm one of the very few people who keep Red Gotenks still high in terms of value. I just think he is one of the most solid Reds we have. Being type neutral the whole time he's transformed, having a really strong blue card against the best characters in the game, having a good team variety, being on hybrids, fusions, setups-ish. Like I think a team setup of these two with Vegito is really good. Hybrids could be good. Margin booster, technically speaking, you could run these three free auto. I wouldn't do that, but yeah, he has teams. He has solid defense and tanking in this sense. More tanking than disrupt here. Good blue card could win you games, can help you against the yellows. Potentially sniper Wuhan if you're lucky. Yeah, I think he's very valuable. That's why I'm keeping it actually at number 7 here. The reason I have Namek Goku under him, although you could make the argument to swap these two, is just I think Namek Goku is just, I don't know. I personally don't see this guy as a really major unit in a sense. Like, I know the team with Vegito and him and Gohan exists, but I still think this is Kid Buu food. If you're fighting a Kid Buu, bro, Namek Goku's dying in 1 strike and 1 blue card. You don't have an answer there. I don't think his tanking is the greatest even against Vegito. If this guy drops an ultimate, you're losing some life. Like either your endurance, your KO guard, or your revival, something is gotta go. But he has some value against Vegito. The lock-in is still good. Especially if Vegito loses type neutral defensively, you can just lock it in. 2 strikes, blue card, potential feint. Like, he has a lot of value to be run against Vegito, but I think at this point he's just, I mean, 7th anniversary is a while now, so he's very frail. His arm fist is still solid. Again, his fainting blues can also win you games. You know what? I'm gonna switch these two. I think this makes a bit more sense. I think Gotenks is just the overall more solid unit right now, but I think Namegoku can just provide you some good value against one of the best characters in the game. I mean, this Gotenks against Kid Buu too, but yeah, it's a swappable position. I think I will put Namegoku here for now. But yeah, both solid units. I prefer Gotenks more, but I think this is down to preference and what team you're running. I think the fact that Gotenks together, if you're running like Vegito, Gotenks, and Gohan, you're giving Gohan opportunity to be basically able to swap in against blues and ultimates and rushes every single time the moment you press that, because he's a hybrid Saiyan. So if you have another hybrid ally, Gohan has a sub count reduction by 10. So I think that's I would say a good valuable thing that Namegoku can provide. But Namegoku is the KO card, so yeah. Depends, although I think he's squishy as well. So yeah. Okay. Talked enough about these two. Moving on to number 6. I have Piccolo. Piccolo obviously gets hurt by the fact that we have now a new green unit that is a viable green unit. Besides that, nothing much has changed with this guy. I still think he has the same issue as before. The fact that he's a range character makes him not perform at his peak on regen. He's good on regen, but he's not his best on regen because he needs a range team. It's holding it back a bit. I don't think he's as crazy as the other units on the list. He doesn't have like Vanish Regain or and again, he's good. He's good offensively. He's not the craziest defensively. I think he is not performing at his best. I think there's a green character, so he gets pushed down a bit. But it's honestly just one spot from the last. The last time I was number 5. Now it's number 6. It didn't really change that much, so no big deal here. So yeah, Piccolo at number 6. Not much to say about this guy. About the aura farming god. I love his ultimate. It looks really cool, funny, but yeah, kind of wish they made him a strike character that would probably been better. Put him maybe 1 or 2 spots higher, but I don't know. Yeah. Number 5, I have Ultra Trunks here. Surprisingly, for an Ultra character, he's not that crazy of a unit, I would say. And I would say crazy, I mean like in terms of broken. Which is a good thing. I don't want this Namegoku situation with every single Ultra character. Like last year, every Ultra was kinda broken, but I think they started to go down in terms of brokenness. Like Ultra Frieza and Namegoku were like the 2 most dominant things ever. And maybe technically Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku to Vegeta to a degree. Super Saiyan 4 Goku had at least a bit of restrictions. Zamasu was, I think, manageable. Wuhan also has some weaknesses, so in terms of Ultra designs, I think they're going a good direction with releasing units that are not too broken right now. My thing with Trunks is, in terms of teams, he doesn't have like the greatest options, I would say. Not horrible options, like he has solid options, but I think none of his teams are like really perfect. Like, Hybrids is a team you could run. It's also a team that gets absolutely demolished by Vegito. So there's that. Vegeta Clan is not that well, and then Future is a solid team, but I won't call it one of the best teams in the game because the other 2 units are kind of a bit lower. Like Hybrids has more higher ranked tiered units, but has a weakness against Vegito. But although I will say, getting a team that's really immune to every single of the best characters in the game is unavoidable. Like we have for every color we have a really good unit, like Trunks for green, Gohan for blue, Wuhan for red, Kid Buu for yellow, Vegito for purple. You can't avoid everything here, so but I think his damage is solid. He's kind of a late game character, with mid to late game character. Once his gauge is built up, he becomes really scary with his preparation mode that does a lot of damage, type neutrality on entry. One thing I also don't like about this guy is that he doesn't have a card on entry. That hurts him quite a lot, I would say. Similar to Janemba. I don't even get why they did it, because what they did is He's drawing up to 2 cards once he uses a card, but why not just make this once and then give him a card on entry? That would have been way better, but okay. I also think the fact that he gets only type neutrality defensively the first time he gets hit makes him a unit you can't really switch into Vegito. Now obviously you don't want to switch this guy into Vegito, I get that, but having type neutrality on entry for a second just to stall time is better. But because he doesn't have that, the first hit you get a hit against Vegito does like 50% of your health, and then you have type neutrality. So that's kind of my, I would say, a smaller issue I see with him. Because his unique gauge is reliant on your allies, I think he becomes like, he's not like this character that's coming in and dominating. He needs a character like Gohan, for example, who dominates at the start, and then this guy comes in. I think this is how he wants to play. This is why I don't consider one of the higher units here, because I think the other units have a bit better team, better variety sometimes, and they are more sort of a, I would say, units that are like strong from the start. Trunks at the start is not that crazy. I think he's solid and becomes very good then mid to late game. But there are some units that are just better immediately. So I'm keeping this guy at number 5. I don't think he's gonna be higher on my list. I don't see other units being lower than him. But he's a good solid character. I like his design. I just wish the future campaign would have focused a bit better around future or Vegeta clan buffs and not just hybrids. Because I think the tag that profits the most of this guy is just hybrids. Like future, as soon as the PvP season is over, I think would not be as good, but hybrids are still remaining with Gohan and this guy. So yeah, moving into number 4, I think I'm gonna put Wuhan here. This was also debate between 4 and 3 here. I think Wuhan is still solid. Obviously Trunks coming to this game doesn't really affect this guy necessarily. Like, he doesn't really he's not type advantage against Buuhan. Like, Trunks is not type advantage against Buuhan, so it's not really affecting him in a sense. I think the region team or the region core is still good. Now obviously they don't have really an answer for Trunks, so this is maybe one of the things, but I think some people sometimes even run Vegito and Buuhan and Kid Buu together, and then you have your answer for Trunks, I guess. But yeah, his unique gauge, counter gauge can win you games sometimes, although he still has the issue of getting potentially killed by a blue card or an ultimate. And I would say even this guy's ability with his preparation mode can just kill Buuhan because he can't counter that. I also forgot to talk about this, but the healing limit thing about Trunks I think is really nice. I think this is a good addition to the game, so glad they did that. Very good against Regen actually, because they heal a lot. Like, Regen out of everybody heals the most. But yeah, back to Buuhan. Solid character. One of the best teams in the game, good damage, also a kind of build-up character, and once he doesn't have his, the thing is, once he loses all of his counters, he's not that hard to deal with, because he doesn't have like great defensive mechanics there. And I think this is a one strong point for example, hybrids against Regen. You can use this guy to pop this guy's gauges, and then Gohan just switches in every single time to be type advantage against it and just tank it. Like the first two blue cards you can just tank with Gohan, and the third one, if he doesn't have like ultimate there or anything, you're just getting rid of Buuhan's counters very easily with hybrids. So yeah, a strong point for hybrids. Probably a reason why I would even say more so a reason why I keep Buuhan at 4 and not at 3 here. Last time I had him at 3, this time I'm putting him at 4. I think he's still a good character. Also an ultra character that isn't entirely broken, which I like. To be fair, obviously his counter can sometimes be annoying and straight up win your matches, but yeah. Yeah, solid number 4. Moving on to number 3. I have Vegito. As already said, highest damaging character in the game. Not the best defensively, can get crushed by Kid Buu if you're not careful. but otherwise he's just a very strong character. On teams with Gotenks and Gohan. Like, Gohan and Vegito are like the most core things I see, and then some kind of third. I even think you could potentially run a hybrid setup with Vegito lead. That could also work. Not much to be said actually, because yeah, I think this is the most thing you can say about Vegito. He has the craziest damage out of everybody. He has solid teams, and that's really it. Obviously, because of Trunks, he gets a bit more value because he's the best character against Trunks by far. But nothing much I can say about Vegito. There are not a lot of crazy mechanics that he has that needs to be talked about. His ultimate hits like a nuke. I already said that before, so yeah, this is the number 3. I don't think I want to put him higher. I think 3 is the perfect place for him in this case, so yeah. Then we move into number 2 and number 1, where I actually have to do a shared thing because I can not decide this time. So yeah, Kid Buu, Gohan. I think I have to explain most of the thing about Gohan and Kid Buu, because Kid Buu's reasoning is the same as the last time. If you see my last tier list, you know why Kid Buu's up there. But Gohan, I've said this ever since Legends Fest Part 3. If Gohan had a legit good hybrid team, he would have been the best character by far. And why he doesn't have the perfect hybrid team, I think his hybrid team is good enough to a point where I have to put it in a shared spot. That's the main reason why. And you could argue Trunks is hurting this guy, but he's also helping this guy. It's really a neutral point with Gohan. It's the same as Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, you could hurt. He hurt Gohan more because he stopped his combos, but at the same time people run Gohan, Vegeta, and Goku together. So this guy is still offensively absolutely nuts. It's even more nuts with hybrids, and keep in mind that Trunks is giving 30% support on full unique gauge, so Gohan hits harder. Basically, what Trunks does for Gohan is making him prime Gohan again. Because all the damage he's lost of future boost is now gonna get added with the help of Trunks. So Trunks is basically making Gohan prime Gohan again in terms of damage. So, and if you're running, for example, future Gohan, yeah, you kinda figure out how busted this is. Hybrids has the most broken equipment, so no argument that Gohan is at least number 2 here, if not number 1. And I have Kid Buu, who I would say the situation didn't change much. Although I will say a blue card from this guy prevents his healing a bit, so that's the probably most annoying thing about Trunks against regen, which is also a reason to put these guys on a shared spot. I still think Kid Buu crushes a lot of units. Although I will say I'm leaning a bit more now to Gohan, because Gohan doesn't have a lot of answers. It's just Trunks, really. And Kid Buu, the Wuhans, sometimes the Mazu Gotenks, that he can't really completely crush, so I'm leaning more towards Gohan, but I think this is a shared here. But I'm leaning towards Gohan, so yeah. Moving to the other units here on this list. Not everybody I'm going to talk about quickly, but they're just you know what, at this point, Orange Piccolo, I'm sorry, you're gonna get dropped off the list. You're not core and region anymore. No reason to talk about you. Zamasu, who people would probably put him in the top 10. I'm not gonna do that. For me personally, Kid Buu can still crush this guy very quickly if you're not careful. And I also think, again, when it comes to Future, which is the core team you're gonna run on, I think Goku Black is these two are a bit more necessary than this guy is. You could, in theory, run it on regen if you want to, but yeah. Ultra UI. Now, Ultra UI is a unit that is, in theory, very, very good against the best characters in the game, but the problem is he has no team. I don't see UI ever, really. So this is the main reason why I keep him off the list. Last time I have been like 7-8 with Namegoku, but I see him so rarely that I decide not to put him in the top 10 this time. Android 15, powerful opponent, potential third character you could run, but not core, so not making the list. Gogeta. My 8-star Trunks killed this guy with blue card at 70% HP, and that was post-transformation, so in other words, this guy is frail as hell, can just get absolutely destroyed by Kid Buu, destroyed by Vegito. He gets destroyed by everybody, and if you're not running Namegoku with him, once he's dead, So yeah, also not making the list for me. Vegeta also has no team, and therefore doesn't make the list. Although if I had to put him on a position here, he would be probably here. Because Ishido's rush is still very, very good. Trunks and Mai, their damage is good. Their support is obviously very useful, but they lack a lot of modern mechanics, I would say. Not having blast armor on your ultimate and blue card sucks. That's just how it is. So I will put them here because I think they're usable. That's it. Future Gohan could run on hybrids, but I think he's too... At this point, his Senka is too old to be that good. Like, a lot of units can just kill this guy very quickly. And then we've got a Trunks, who I think offensively are very good, but defensively they're not that great, obviously, because they're only on S tier. But I used them, and I had a lot of fun using them on the team I used with one Zenkai buff only. I think they did a great offensive job. So I keep it in here, and you could run them, but definitely not top 10, I would say. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about my list, and yeah, I know, again, very debatable about this. If you disagree with this spot, I can understand it, but yeah. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about my list, and see you guys in the next video.